an important concept of Vedic astrology and some insights of Saturn Mahadasha. So Saturn Mahadasha actually it lasts for 19 years. So many people actually they are fear of running Saturn Mahadasha, but it's not true. It's all depends on how mature the person is actually who is running Saturn Mahadasha. So usually Saturn is a old mature planet. Saturn actually is known for delay, restriction, isolation, loss, a death-like situation, and he's also Jivanopaya, Karmakaraka, and also he's also a significator for the fulfillment of desires because he owns 10th and 11th houses from natural Aries sign. So Saturn plays a prominent role in one's career, employment. So coming to Saturn Mahadasha, so if the person is more mature, like if it is something like 45 plus years of age, that is when actually Saturn Mahadasha is good for them. So more mature, more elder the person is, more auspicious Saturn Mahadasha is. Because to manage this energy, so a person has to have certain maturity. So if the person passes through Rahu Mahadasha, Jupiter Mahadasha, and when he reaches old age, at the age of 50, suppose, if he reaches 50 plus, and then if the person runs Saturn Mahadasha, then it will be more auspicious because of the significations that Saturn bring. So basically Saturn is a very tough teacher. He's not like Jupiter. So Jupiter always pampers. Okay, he gives alternatives. He gives exceptions because he's guru. He's a divine guidance. So his nature is nurturing, nourishing. But Saturn is not like that. He's a very hard teacher. Saturn is the only planet that makes an individual a perfectionist by allowing him realizing the duties that he has to perform in various walks of life. Either it could be career, job, business, marital life, children, taking care of responsibilities. So if you are running Saturn Mahadasha in your mid-age, so keep this in your mind that your holiday time is over. It doesn't mean that your life will be full of sorrows. So you actually entered into a dasha where you have to take many responsibilities on your shoulders, taking care of elderly parents and passing through hardships, working harder than how you were working in past, and be prepared to learn bitter lessons from Saturn. So especially for certain ascendants, Saturn Mahadasha will be fruitful. Suppose for Libra ascendant, so Saturn is a Raja Karka. He owns one Kendra, 4th house, and one Kona, 5th house. So Saturn actually really does well for Libra ascendants, and for even Taurus also. Saturn owns one Kona, ninth house, which is the highest of Kona houses, and 10th house, and which is highest of Kendra houses. So he's again Raja Karka for Taurus people. So wherever Saturn is positioned for the Libra and Taurus, Saturn will give good results. The reason being, the top secret here is Saturn exalts in Libra, which is a Venus sign. So that's why for Venus ascendants, Saturn is the most auspicious planet. If Saturn can't bring good results in their life, then none other could bring. If not Saturn Mahadasha, so at least in Saturn antar dashas they should see prominent and promising results. For certain ascendants, it is very true and weird that the kind of signification Saturn carries. So let's say for Leo ascendant and Cancer ascendants. So for Leo, he is 6th lord and also 7th lord. So his spouse, his partner, is his enemy when Saturn Dasha gets activated. So They get into conflicts, long battles with their spouse, partner during Saturn Mahadasha or Saturn Mahadasha. And also during Sadesati, when they run Sadesati, that's the time, these people actually get into marital relationship issues for Leo ascendants and Cancer ascendants. For Cancer, Saturn owns two houses. One is 7th house and 8th house. 8th house is marital life, in-laws. And 7th house is, is a house of marriage, spouse, partner. For Scorpions, Saturn gives mixed results because he owns one Kendra house, because a malefic planet owning a Kendra house is auspicious, is said to be auspicious as per a Vedic astrology. And for Sagittarius ascendants, Saturn owns two houses, 2nd and 3rd house. So again, a mixed and moderate results. Saturn becomes, very strong karka for Marka, for Sagittarius, if he is not well positioned. For Pisces, Saturn owns two houses, 11th and 12th houses. So it's a kind of mixed results for them as well. So, irrespective of ascendants, okay, because of some of the significations that Saturn brings, okay, to an individual, so everybody is bound to see certain results during Saturn Mahadasha. This is irrespective of ascendants. They have to take burdens, responsibilities on their shoulders. They have to work hard. They have to go through hardships. And Saturn makes them pass through a death-like situation, like, like they hear somebody, close to them, in their family or, outside family, they are passing through a death-like situations. And it is likely that, people who run Saturn Mahadasha, they definitely face these kind of situations, consoling, a friend or a relative who lost their family members, or, going to the graveyard, especially when Saturn, is transitioning in 8th house, or Saturn is positioned in 8th house. If we understand the philosophy of Saturn, we don't need to fear about Saturn. If we rightly utilize Saturn's energy. Saturn is not like Jupiter. So these two are equal and opposite peers. So Jupiter is having, a higher divine thinking, higher learning, a guru, a guide, a person of emotional nature, nurturing, caring. But Saturn is not like that. He is purely materialistic. What Saturn says is, you go, okay? Don't tell all these things. You may be a divine kind of personality. You may know a bigger things. But unless you go and do this task, I'm not going to give you the fruits. So Saturn is a planet, key planet, that finally, calling the shots. It's not Jupiter. So Saturn basically, he actually derives that equation. What is your pending karma? What is that, you haven't fulfilled? And he'll make you take up that karma and complete it. For people who have Saturn favorably positioned, they'll be able to fulfill their duties. That is, it's a blessing for them. For people whose Saturn is not well positioned, for them Saturn chases them, haunt them. So Saturn is coming to significations of Saturn. Okay, Saturn is a bitter enemy to Sun. Okay, so Sun actually is a planet that gives self-confidence, self-esteem, and it represents lineage, creativity. Saturn is a planet of ground reality. No matter what you are, you may hail from a great family. But you have to work hard to fulfill certain things in life. That's what Saturn is going to say. And wherever Saturn is positioned in that house, so people see, they are discriminated in that area of, house. So suppose the Saturn is in 8th house, they are actually treated indifferently by their, in-laws, or they have a weird, a strange relationship with their in-laws, because Saturn represents isolation, blockage. Their communication with their in-laws is bare minimum if Saturn is in 8th house. If Saturn is in 3rd house, so this person is treated as a step sibling. If Saturn is in 4th house, a stepson. In 9th house, a stepfather. And coming to Karakas, so Saturn has one important Karaka. He is a Aish Karaka. Especially he is in certain houses like 3rd, 8th and 12th. He blesses an individual with longevity. So if Saturn receives Jupiter aspect, it's a great blessing. Because the pessimism brought by Saturn is actually suppressed and nullified by this Jupiter's optimism. Either Jupiter is in Saturn star, or Jupiter is associated with Saturn, or if Jupiter and Saturn both conjunct in Navamsha or in Dashamsha, it is actually good. And irrespective of what Mahadasha, what Antardasha, as I always mentioned in my videos, in my previous videos also. So if Antardasha Lord and Mahadasha Lord are same, then it's a kind of a testing time for anyone. And Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha is more painful than other planets Dasha and Antardasha. Because treat the Antardasha Lord as a king. Treat the Mahadasha Lord as a king and Antardasha Lord as a minister. So usually they have to work hand in hand, the king and minister. Then only things will go smooth, go well for the individual. So a person who is running Saturn Mahadasha, just started Saturn Mahadasha, so basically he kind of completed his Jupiter Mahadasha and entered Saturn Mahadasha. So it means that the king is Saturn and the minister is Saturn. The minister actually is a key planet, Antardasha Lord, who actually finally calls the shots, and the king follows the minister. So it's a kind of testing time for people who are running Saturn Mahadasha and Saturn Antardasha, irrespective of SN, and even for Taurus and Libra people also. Even though Saturn is Raja Karaka, they don't see good results during initial stage of Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha. At least I can say Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha, Saturn Vidasa, they have to complete that. After that they could see, the light is coming up for them. So if a person is kind of honest and kinded to unprivileged poor people in terms of helping them, nurturing them, and if the person is highly spiritual, for these people Saturn won't cause any trouble, because it's all maturity. More maturity, less negative impact of Saturn Mahadasha. So that's why God has given you the sequence of these dashas. Okay, Mars Mahadasha, Mars is go-getter. He's like a bull. And Rahu Mahadasha for material position, material success, for obsession. Okay, enjoy your life the way you think, that you dream. Jupiter Mahadasha, okay, cleans your life. See the balance. Understand the gaps. Fill those gaps. And move forward with a divine guidance, with an optimistic nature. Coming to Saturn Mahadasha. Okay? Mars Mahadasha, Jupiter Mahadasha, and Rahu Mahadasha taught you many lessons. Now you are under control of this Saturn. If a person is not dutiful, not honest, haven't fulfilled his basic duties during Rahu Mahadasha and Jupiter Mahadasha, for those people, Saturn Mahadasha is going to be very painful. For Leo ascendants, because Saturn owns both 6th and 7th house, so they see turbulence in their marital life during Saturn Mahadasha, especially in Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha. Even for Cancer also, they often have issues in their marital life with their in-laws. For Gemini, it's a kind of a 50% benefit for Gemini ascendants, because Saturn owns 2 houses. So one is 8th house and one is 9th house. For Virgo, the same case. Saturn owns one Kona, which is 5th house, and another Dusthana, which is 6th house. Again, moderate results. So not only Rasi chart, okay, we need to look at the dignity of Saturn in Navamsha also. So Saturn is a planet that should not achieve highest strength or lowest strength in anybody's chart for a Saturn to work. Saturn exalted can bring lot many issues if Saturn is in a malefic planet. If a person is immature and he has a Saturn exalted, that's it. He'll do a lot of misdoings. He'll have a lot of bitter experiences. He'll have a lot of hard lessons in his life. He does many mistakes before he realizes the truth. So the strength of Saturn has to be assessed in Shadbala also. It should not be too strong nor too weak. Saturn has to attain moderate strength for anyone's chart horoscope, for a Saturn to bring auspicious results. So friends, this is my analysis about Saturn Mahadasha. If you like my video, please click on like button and also subscribe to my video. Thank you very much.